Hey, welcome back to Karen's Papercraft. Thank you very much for watching. Today is a Wednesday and I ought to be cleaning my craft room, but I decided not to and do a tutorial for you. Not that I've given up cleaning my craft room for Lent, but I just didn't feel like it. And this is what I'm going to show you today. It's a very easy box to make, a spring box. I made it for a blog hop that I take part in, and you can find all the details in the description box below. So if you want to find out how you can make a cute box like this, keep watching. The blog hop theme was spring, and I thought I would make these beautiful spring boxes for it with the stamp set Easter Friends, and I've used that chicky and the grass. Of course this could be used as an Easter box as well. I may do so, I'm not sure yet. You could add the sentiment Happy Easter on a label. And my box came about because I had some scraps of the hand-penned designer series paper. Just a small scrap, this one. And I thought, well, this size, can I make a box around it? And then I thought of the rest of the project. Now, I'm going to show you from scratch. I'm going to use these boxes as a home decoration, so I've got one with the bow on the right, bow at the top, and I'm going to make it with the bow on the left, but you could have the bow anywhere you want except on the bottom because you couldn't stand your box upright. Okay, well, never mind me. Okay, the box. I'm going to make one in, this is, by the way, this is Daffodil Delight, this is Highland Heather, and I'm going to make one in Mint Macaron. And, oops, now I just dropped everything on the floor. Scrap of designer series paper, and all you need is just one sheet of cardstock. One sheet will do you. First I'm going to cut the designer series paper to size, and I need a piece which is 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. Then I'm going to cut the top part of my box. And you're going to score this on all 4 sides at 1 inch. So I'll do that while I have it in my trimmer. Then I'm continuing with the bottom piece. Now the bottom piece is just a bit under 5 7/8. So what you do is you go to the 5 7/8 mark and you move 1 mark down. And you need to do this because otherwise your bottom will be too big for the lid. So 5 7/8, and then I just move 1 down, which means I'm cutting off 1/16 of an inch. So this is just under 5 7/8 by 5 7/8, and now I'm going to score on all 4 sides at 1 1/4. This is a scrap. These are scrap pieces as well, but I'm going to use them for my label because I'm going to cut 4, well, it's not cutting, it's punching. I'm going to punch 4 of these labels with the Label Me Lovely punch, because I'm going to use these on the back of my chick later on. So hardly any scraps left now. I'm going to fold and burnish all my score lines. And then I'm going to do the cutting, and I'm going to rotate. So once I've cut one part, and I like to shorten them a bit. You don't have to, I just like the look of that. See, now I'm rotating and doing the next one, and you keep doing that. So I'll just shorten this one a bit and then you wedge it. The piece which has the larger edge, the wider edge, that's the bottom part. So I'm going to attach my designer series paper It's easier to do this when your lid is still flat, And then I'm going to use my Seal Plus to attach the 4 corners. You could use liquid glue, it just takes longer because you'd have to hold the box. You could also use tear and tape. Some people don't like seal. I'm fine with it, no problem at all. So you just make sure that you line up these edges. And then with your bone folder you push down in the corners to make sure that the adhesive adheres well. And you repeat with the bottom part. This is a nice tight fit, do you see, because I made the bottom part just a bit smaller. Right, then for the stamping, I wanted, as I explained to you, the chick and the grass. And I have a piece of basic white, which is there, of course. I'm going to stamp the chick in 2 colours. First I'm stamping in Daffodil Delight. Well, I'm not stamping, I'm just inking up my stamp, and then with a Stampin' Right marker, Pumpkin Pie, I colour the little feet and the beak. Half on my stamp to re-moisten it, and then stamp, and then you see that's how you can stamp 2 colours at one and the same time. Then I'm going to stamp the grass, and do I want something underneath? Yes, I do. But it may be stamping off the paper, I'm not sure yet. So the grass, and then I'm just stamping the grass edge just by having darker and lighter colours. And then I take my punch What can be nice is that you ink the edge of your stamp a little just by pressing it into the ink pad. It gives a more finished look to the top of the label. Leave it to dry a minute. I'm going to adhere all my labels together. Since I'm going to attach it on my box with the ribbon going that way, I'm going to put my dimensionals on horizontally. If you want to put your ribbon on towards the top, you will have to put them on vertically. I discovered that yesterday. Well, I could remove the... I'm just using my grid paper to more or less see where it's halfway. And just put 3 dimensionals on, and this is ready to go onto the ribbon. Then I'm using the frayed ribbon. You need about 14 inches. So I'm using my grid paper to measure it, and I'm using a cigarette lighter to make sure it doesn't fray. Just hold it against the edge. I already did that here. Then you have your box and you put the ribbon on, and it is helpful if you have pegs or something to hold the ribbon together for a minute. Then I'm also using the gingham ribbon. This is from the Flowers for Every Season set, and you need about 11 inches. And you're going to make a loop to start with, and then you pull the ends of the ribbon through. I hope you can see this from above. and you pull tight. That's it. You can let go of your pegs, and then you can tie these ends, and then you can tie a bow. First a loop on the right, then you pull the left one over, and then you pull it through the loop, pull tight, and again you can pull this tight a bit and fiddle about with your ribbon a bit if it's not of an equal length. And this is fraying, so I need to snip it off and use my lighter again. And I'll do this end as well, just shorten it just a tiny bit. That should do it. Okay, and there you go. I'll just get rid of my bits and bobs to keep my desk more or less clear. And now you can put your chickie on. So you remove the backing from the dimensional and you stick your chickie on. And there you have 3 boxes which I'm going to use as a home decoration, but you can put Easter eggs in them and give them away as a present. All will be nice. Well, thank you very much for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.